For graduation, my dad wanted to take my sister and I on a trip somewhere, and we wanted to go to Disney World. So, and he always wanted to do whatever we wanted. So that was the plan there. And then my dad and I spent a long time going through and picking out all the fast passes that we wanted, and it was fun. It was a fun little process.
It was his birthday, and so Caitlin, Harrison, and I woke up really early to talk. Like, okay, we're gonna go print the tickets in the lobby. We're gonna go like get his, the Disney pins. I do birthday pins. We're gonna get him a birthday pin and all this stuff.
I woke up 7 or 8 a.m. and Caitlin told me to go wake up Dad. And so I went in with my birthday card for him and just went to wake him up, and he wasn't responding, but that wasn't out of the ordinary. He's a very heavy sleeper.
I just remember hearing Harrison's hearing Harrison run towards us, and I just remember him saying guys.
Finally, I ran out to my sister's to try to go tell him something was wrong, and I probably was hysterical. I'm sure I didn't make any sense, but Caitlin went and checked, and then she confirmed what I already knew, and he was already gone.
I feel like I couldn't even wrap my head around the fact that oh, he's gone. I couldn't even think about that yet. It was more so just I had never felt so out of my body at a point in my life than the moment that we found him.
Well, I just felt like I had been stripped of something that I deserved more of. I deserved to have a long relationship with my dad, and he deserved that. And I was angry that he was taken away from me and my family. I was angry that it was because of something that he couldn't necessarily help.
Yeah, I think that moment is where really my whole childhood died. That moment took a big chunk of me with it.
Well, we had a favorite song. Obviously, a lot of people have heard too. I hear babies crying, I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll ever know. I think to myself, what a wonderful world. That was just his song. He loved it because I honestly just think he was someone who was always appreciative of everything around him. I do think he loved the life that he lived, and that song, I think, just kind of makes you sit back and appreciate all the little things too.
He was just a really good person. Like I said, I feel like he just wanted to make everybody happy and genuinely cared about people, and making them happy, making them feel seen and heard and listened to. From a perspective of his child, he always pushed me, always encouraged me, always supported me in whatever I wanted. He wanted the best for me, and that was clear, and he wanted the best for all of us, and I really think he went out of his way to do things for us, to make our lives better, and I think he did that for every person that he was close to, and that's what's really missed. He was funny, he was goofy, he was smart, gave a lot of good advice.
he wasn't just my dad, you know, he was my best friend too. So I feel like that's just the easiest way to describe him, is he was like, he cared in all the ways, he did all the things a dad should do, but he was also like my friend. And I feel like that's just like how I always think of him more. So it's just like, obviously it's missing my dad, but it's also missing a friend, you know?
He was just a sweet guy. I mean, he cared about us so much. I mean, no matter what we were interested in, if he knew nothing about it, he'd educate himself on it. Like, one example is me getting super into basketball. I remember I got his phone after he passed, and I looked through it, and there was just him researching about basketball and my favorite players and my favorite teams, and that just made me really happy. And he just always tried to relate to us, and he'd really take his time so he could understand what we cared about, and he just wanted to make us happy. He's a great father. Yeah.
Because I knew that like we were like the most important things to him, and I knew that like he wanted to make us happy so bad. Like that was just who he was. He was a person that wanted to do everything for the people that he cared about, and that was something he couldn't do, was completely stop all of the time with drinking. And so for me, it's not like I know that it must have really overtook him a lot of the time, because if he would have, if he could have stopped for us, I know that he would have.
He would do anything in the world for any single one of us 3 kids. But if he couldn't stop drinking, then I knew there was something wrong. I feel like I always like went back and forth in my mind, like, is it really a disease? Is it partially like in your control? And like, after I sat back and kind of realized, like, I know he would do anything for us 3 kids, and if we're all trying to get him to stop and he couldn't, it's a disease. He can't, there's nothing he could do anymore.
I just want to tell him that I don't blame him, and that I know now it's a disease, and he was trying really hard to control it, but years of drinking finally caught up to him, and I don't blame him for that. It's not his fault, and I just want him to know I love him, and that I just hope he knows that we don't harbor any resentment towards him. Yeah.